And welcome back to another edition of Completely Unoriginal right here at DakotaBroadcasting.com. I'm Adam St. Paul, joined by Kurt Campbell only.
Hello.
Today. And we don't have a really long show or anything really prepared to talk about. We'll touch on a couple things, but this is more just to let any fans of the podcast know what's going on. We haven't had a show in a couple of weeks, and there's a reason for that. Most people who are fans of the show know that Tony Tube Zur from Redfield usually joins us. He has been on the mend.
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks, recovering from surgery, and gosh, if you read his Facebook posts, it seems to be an everyday struggle. He seems to be in a lot of pain yet.
Yeah, and I hate to hear that because I've been there. So all my best going out to you, Tony, man. Get better soon. We miss you on the show, but most importantly, we want you to be healthy. So.
Yeah, and that's kind of why we are just doing a short update to the podcast, because I think we both kind of feel like it's not right to do it without Tony, as long as we're all in this together.
Right.
So we're trying to, that's why we kept putting off doing another show, hoping that Tony would feel better, and he's taking a little longer to recover than we had hoped, so that's why we took a little break. But either way, Kurt, how you been?
I've been all right. It's been a depressing couple of weeks. The loss of Prince, the passing suddenly of Patton Oswalt's wife.
Wow.
Which just was out of nowhere. And,
did they ever find out?
I haven't seen if they've announced what happened.
Is it an aneurysm or
don't
something?
Don't know. It's sad, regardless. A 46-year-old woman. They have a 7-year-old daughter, and it breaks your heart. So it's not been and Patton is a champion of nerds everywhere, and nerdy things. So it's kind of sad.
Yes.
You feel connected to the guy, but there have been some good things too. We've got and stuff we'll have to talk about later. Like for instance, the DC animation Killing Joke movie.
Well, we can touch on that a little bit because the trailer has been released, and
it looks good.
It does really look good. The last DC movie I bought must have been Assault on Arkham, which is that was actually a Suicide Squad Batman film, animated. It was very good. And Under the Red Hood is really good. I do have The Dark Knight Returns, both 1 and 2, parts 1 and 2. I don't think it was necessary to break it down into 2 parts.
Probably not.
But I'm going to whisper this really quietly. I think DC just wanted my money.
You think?
Yeah. So,
oh, no way.
But, that is something that is super interesting, because the movies, the cinematic universe of Marvel and DC, no one really cares for, or at least the majority don't seem to care for, the DC dark brooding, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But when it comes to the cartoons, people do like the darker tones and everything like that. You go over to Marvel, and everyone likes the up tone, kind of bright and colorful films,
right?
But they don't like that in the cartoons, and I think that's because it comes off a little more childish.
Yeah, it's aimed more, and there's room for kids shows like the little what is it? Justice League? The
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans are funny. That's DC though.
That's what I thought you meant.
There's a little Avengers or a little Justice I can't even think. It's aimed at kids, and it's still well done. It's got a lot of humor. But yeah, if you're going to do animation, I think it should have a little bit of an edge to it if you're aiming it at the teen and above crowd. And not be
Well, they're aiming this at the adult crowd.
Yeah, well, I believe this is rated R from what I saw.
The Killing Joke, which is, of course, the kind of seminal work of Alan Moore. The only time I think he's ever written Batman, and he only time he ever written Batman, it goes down as one of his best stories, and it is basically canon in DC.
Yeah.
And that is, of course, the classic Killing Joke from the 1986. Or something like that was when it was published. But it is, of course, basically the Joker escapes from Arkham, and he goes I don't know if it's a rampage so much, but he has some goals in mind that he sets out to accomplish, and he goes about trying to accomplish those goals.
And here's the thing. You've got Kevin Conroy, again, brilliantly voicing Batman as he's always done. You've got Mark Hamill's amazing Joker portrayal. You've got Ray Wise, I think it is Commissioner Gordon, the guy from Twin Peaks and a bunch of other stuff. He's really good. And you've got a stellar voice cast. You've got really solid animation, and you've got a story that's been waiting 30 years to be brought to a screen somewhere. So this is something to be excited about.
You know, it is kind of funny and who knows, maybe they would have went this route, I guess, when it comes to the Nolan Batman universe, because they were going to bring Heath Ledger back had he not died. You know, it is shocking that they've never done this story on the big screen in one way or another, whether
Right.
or on in a visual or in a video medium, if you know what I mean.
I just don't think the time or the situation has been right until now, and I think they've found the perfect balance of being able to pull off what you can in a graphic novel in animation. It's less expensive. Let's put it that. Let's be fair, because pulling off the Killing Joke story on the big screen in film with all the CGI and the other stuff you'd need, pretty cost prohibitive.
And for people who have not read The Killing Joke, this isn't a spoiler. It's just to let you know if you might want to pick up the film. This is the also seminal or basically canon origin story of the Joker.
Yeah,
they've done, of course, retcons and things like that. But if you ask any Batman fan, I think that actually reads the comic books, they would point to this story as being the Joker's what little origin story he has. This is it.
Yeah,
so.
It's going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing it because I watched the full official trailer and I was like, man, that looks good. So I'm ready.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not sure when it comes out. Do you know when the release date is?
I'll have to check and see. I don't know the exact release date. If I had Siri with me, I'd ask her, but I don't. But it's soon, obviously. It's got to be pretty soon.
Check it out, for sure.
Yeah, look, if you're a Batman fan, you want to see this.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that's all we're going to touch on today. Like I said, we didn't want to do a full show. We just want to update the listeners and let them know what's going on here. We miss Tony, and we hope that he comes back soon so that we can continue to nerd out with him once a week right here at Dakota Broadcasting. So that's going to do it for us here today. Thank you so much for tuning in for Kurt Campbell and Tony Zur. I'm Adam St. Paul. Until the next time.